Although the city is most famous for its Leaning Tower, there's so much more to discover. In this video, we'll explore not only the must-see highlights, but also charming streets and lively squares. Join us as we uncover this true Tuscan treasure. Welcome to Pisa. Some historians believe it boasts ancient Greek origins, and others date it to the Etruscan period. The most important point is that medieval Pisa experienced its first period of splendour in economic, political and artistic terms. Between the 11th and 12th centuries, the city was the setting for great scientific discoveries and territorial conquests. With the construction of splendid buildings such as the Piazza del Duomo and the Piazza del Cavalieri. The city had a strategic position because it's close to the River Arno and the sea. Thanks to national and international trade, Pisa became one of the naval powers of the Mediterranean. Exploiting its sea power and the products and the markets of its fertile Tuscan hinterlands, the city in the 11th century became a flourishing commercial centre. Arno is the river which crosses the whole city of Pisa, as well as Florence. Italians call Lungarno the streets which pass beside the riverbank. The Lungarnos of Pisa, with splendid buildings and palaces that rise upon them, together with romantic bridges, represent some of the most famous and characteristic places of Pisa. Piazza de' Miracoli is one of the treasures of Pisa and worth more than just a quick tour. Grandiose and monumental, it contains the Duomo, the baptistry, the Leaning Tower and the monumental cemetery of Pisa. In a cluster of breathtaking beauty reminiscent of the economic power achieved at the time of the Maritime Republic. The piazza is dominated by the Duomo, the medieval cathedral with a facade of grey and white stone set with discs of coloured marble. The massive bronze main doors replaced the original doors destroyed in a fire in 1595. The original central door was of bronze, made around the 12th century, while the other two were probably of wood. The building, as have several others in Pisa, have tilted slightly since its construction, though not nearly to the extent of the nearby tower. The baptistry, dedicated to St. John the Baptist, stands opposite the west end of the Duomo. The round Romanesque building was begun in the mid-12th century and finished only in the 14th century. The baptistry of Pisa is the largest in the world. The immensity of the interior is overwhelming and it's surprisingly plain and lacking in decoration. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is one of the most famous monuments in the world. The tower was built as a freestanding bell tower for the nearby cathedral. Construction started in 1173 and it took 177 years. The tower stands approximately 60 meters high and was built to accommodate a total of 7 main bells. It was supposed to be straight, but due to unstable soil, it ended up leaning. After they finished constructing the 3rd floor and realized it was sinking, it was left for a century for the subsoil to stabilize and prevent the building from collapsing. When construction resumed, the upper floors were built with one side taller than the other. When the 7th and final floor was added, the lean was approximately 1 degree, which is 80 centimeters or 2.5 feet from vertical. The lean then got worse over time and even reached 5 degrees at one point. Several attempts were made to save it from falling, and the most remarkable attempt in the late 20th century was when, with a budget of 30 million and 10 years of works, the tower was straightened over 1.5 degrees. Piazza del Cavalieri is a landmark in Pisa and the second main square of the city. This square was the political centre in medieval Pisa. After the middle of the 16th century, the square became the headquarters of the Order of the Knights of St. Stephen, and now it's a centre of education, being the main house of the Scuola Normale di Pisa, a higher learning institution part of the university. The main building on the square is the Palazzo della Caravana, the Palace of the Knights of St. Stephen, and formerly the Palace of the Elders. It was modernised in the Renaissance style by Vasari. The facade is richly decorated and contains 6 niches with busts of the Grand Dukes of Tuscany. In front of the palace stands the last statue of Cosimo I de' Medici by Pietro Francavilla. We really hope you like our videos. And please like and subscribe if you do.